Yeah, David.
Again, or?
Yeah, David. Yeah.
All right. So I beg you. No, if I give you, you won't do it for me. So
why won't I do this for you?
Okay, so read this message for me.
That's some penny.
Read a message.
Good morning, David.
Mm-hmm.
You know the lies.
The lie, read it. See what I told you. Then I read the message, please.
I refuse to read this.
I told you he wouldn't read it.
Oh, no. You can read it yourself. Why should I be reading it?
Steve, will you do me the honest? Oh,
no, you take a look. You can read it. No problem.
What's about memoir now?
Oh, no.
If you can read it, there's no problem. Why don't you read it?
Oh, come on. Uncle George, how are you doing?
Okay, good morning, David. You know the lie is a fresh burger. The ice is still not melted.
It's melted.
So you haven't seen anything yet. Plenty shirt go flow soon. Uncle George, good morning.
Uncle George, are you in my locker? Are you in my wardrobe, or you are in my suitcase?
FPAC is effective for headache and relieves the symptoms of flu, cold, and catarrh. FPAC blows away the pain associated with sore throats. During and after a hard day's work, FPAC relieves you of body pain. After the day's sports workout, FPAC helps the body to control the aching muscles. FPAC is effective against feverishness and rheumatic pains. FPAC reduces body temperature associated with malaria and other fevers. FPAC is not recommended for children less than 16 years of age, ulcer, and asthmatic patients, pregnant and lactating mothers. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC blows your pain away.
FPAC Junior is a trusted friend to relieve your child of pain associated with teething, catarrh, cold, and fever. The good that FPAC does for you, FPAC Junior does for your child. FPAC Junior is for children between 6 months and 12 years. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC Junior blows your child's pain away. This advertisement is FDA approved.
OneXBet. Easy betting, easy winning. OneXBet, reliable bookmaker that offers you a huge range of bonuses, great odds, and many chances to win. Register now on onexbet.com.gh and use promo code PLAY1 to get 300% bonus up to 3,445 Ghana cedis on your first deposit. OneXBet gives you more. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Chale, uti we wa wasuma chese no mamu ayeshi. Mijidi pase nye battery. Eye cash flow. L'argent no day. Eye no krese ye nyina ye fa emra emu odimu. Ye nyina ye pekwanya ye betumi ama ye financial burdens mo aye ha. Bebia nyoye. Nenso emane how na emwa kakra e free with Trusted Bank Societe Generale Ghana nti. Bibia be ye fine. Societe Generale Ghana emane customers nyina ni age e fa ya tisu loans promotion ye ho. Chese SG Ghana customers any omo a empo omo nye customers. Omo wo controller and accountant general payroll nusuno ebetumi enya enije any akwenya surunku eye discounted loans ensemre kra jewu loan ene ko branch biemu anase fre 0302214314 nema bibia mfiti ase enkoso enhihye kakra wo ho kai say promotion yi ekokosi 7th August 2023 Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you. Just be happy, don't you worry.
A bank that supports you, a bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams come alive, CBG will make you smile. We will rise with you. Your business will flourish, your name will stand out. Consolidated Bank, CBG. We
Obi na invite me say memra wedding. Na me bedroom here. Me hwe amanfo dressing. There's more room for improvement. Me say Messi afa me ho a me gina ha. Mr. Ultimate mo. Me nya kire wo say wo wura Ultimate Fashions mo. Ferdinando, Kenneth Cole, Max Fendi, Perry Jacob, and member chefs Papa bi. Italian shoes, slippers, sandals, khaki, material trousers, office wear. Enye na wo. Enye member nko a wo. Ema die wo. Emmanuel ye shako wedding, party, engagement. Brands from across the world. Ellen Trace, Adriana Papel, Jones New York, Tehari, Casper. Any bebre keka ho. Se mo hia mo ho sa na se. Mo da na di sa no a. Mo nda na di spectacularly. Said ye be ya enkrofo be hu se oh wodro no edi mu. Wedding gown, wedding gown. Kolanta de. Ni nyina wo Ultimate Fashion. O mapon wedding no. Would you take comment here by me?
I like your dressing.
Medase.
Abrantie, why you do?
Oh, thank you.
Hey, why for now, Barabe?
Oh, Debbie, Edum here. Kumasi Ultimate Fashions. Oh, Prisons Runabout. Accra, opposite UTC. Ultimate Fashion. Beauty is our style.
Well, this is sweet, isn't it? It's a beautiful jazz piece. It is a song titled By My Side by Jeff Loba. And we chose this beautiful jazz piece for a legend, somebody who loves, jazz music, somebody who lives, breathes, eats, does everything jazzy. We're talking about Ziggy Brown, and he's celebrating his birthday today. So Ziggy Brown, Charlie, happy birthday to you. And
Ziggy would have been a very good friend of my dad if he knew him. Because he was also a jazz head. I have never seen anybody be crazy about jazz like that before. And since you were talking about him like that, I kind of,
But did you ever know about this guy, this Jeff Loba guy?
Yeah, I do.
You knew about him?
Yeah, I know almost all the greats.
Yeah. So, happy birthday, champ. And you've been a brother, a friend, and a boss all these years. So as you celebrate this new year in your life, we wish you a happy birthday. God's blessings, grace, favor, and protection. May good health, long life, and success be yours. Enjoy the day. Happy birthday to you, Ziggy Brown. All right, so it's almost time for us to come your way with our main conversation. We're going to have a review, a post-mortem as to what transpired yesterday at Kumeu for that by-election. But before we delve into all that and more, Leo Stanley has got some messages for us.
So Lancaster University presents the Kumasi Road Show. So get a glimpse of what your future could hold as a student at Lancaster University. Discover our exciting range of courses, the mouth-watering scholarships, the study exchange programs to the UK, and you can get a chance to meet the admissions team as well. The venue is at the Royal Lametta Hotel. The time is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and the date is on the 25th of May, 2023. For inquiries, kindly contact 0302 218 989. That's 0302 218 989. Or visit www.lancaster.edu.gh. And Charlie, people are winning big on 590 mobile just by dialing star 959 hash, selecting the game of the day, be it on Monday special all the way through to Sunday as that. But it be like say boys don't know the rundown. So let me tell you something. If your winnings are going to be paid via through Momo, it means a lot of excitement is going to be around you. And your girlfriend is going to start asking you for money for the hair and the nails and the clothes and the bags and the phone and the credit and all that. Your mom is also going to be like, Kofi, my tete wacho, and when you cry, if I drop something, make her go pay tithe for you at the church. Your boys also go say this weekend, it be you for go spread them all, and your money is going to go away. So don't do that. Keep it on the hush and make sure that you stake responsibly. And this is not for persons under 18 years of age. 590 mobile and that 17.
Yes, indeed, a down 7. So this is Love 99.5. It's a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Especially later this afternoon, we're going to enjoy some very beautiful showers of blessings from the Lord God Almighty. All right, so we want you to be a part of our conversation like we always ask you to, and like you always do. WhatsApp number is 0551111995. As I speak, we are live on Facebook. Now, the Kumewu by-election, it has ended. Now, after several days of campaign that saw big guns, the big wigs, the big men from the Jubilee House, as well as national and regional executives of the NPP, the NPP candidate, Ernest Yao Enim, well, he has won the elections to represent the people of Kumewu in Parliament. He garnered some 15,264 votes. The NDC Kwesi Amankwa came second. He got 3,723 votes. Kwekuduya, number 1, or the first, an independent candidate, well, he got 2,478 votes, and that is quite surprising for many. The second Kwekuduya, well, he only got 62 votes. So on Love in the Morning, we want to take a look at what transpired at Kumewu yesterday. So we ask you this question, and in your estimation, did it go as expected? I mean, if you look at the votes that Kwekuduya got and all that transpired yesterday, did it go as expected? And what is your take home from the elections yesterday, especially when we had the big guns on the grounds being observers and being polling agents and all that? What's your take home from the elections that took place yesterday in Kumewu? We'd like to hear from you. Our WhatsApp number is 0551111995. And please make time and join us on Facebook, because we've got some interesting visuals to share with you. Very interesting videos to share with you. So join us on Facebook. It's on LUV 99.5 FM. That's how you can find us on Facebook. One of our colleagues who was on the ground for us yesterday, I mean, congratulations to the team who were on the ground yesterday. Ohemi Interior, NY, that is Nanaya was there. Nana Boachi Yadom was also there. And talking about Nana Boachi Yadom, he's on the phone lines right now. Nana, good morning to you, and how do you feel?
Good morning, Dave. Everything is well. Woke up so strong, yeah.
I like that you woke up strong. So you were on the grounds for us. Congratulations for a great job done yesterday. Give us a wrap as to what transpired in Kumewu yesterday. In your own way, give us a wrap.
All right. So, Dave, everything went on peacefully at Kumewu yesterday. Generally, I think the police and the electoral commissioner deserves some commendation for the efforts. And the security presence alone is a step in its right direction. Voting started at exactly 7 a.m. across all 75 polling stations, including Sechere, Bodumase, Oyoko, Wono, and others. And it ended at exactly 5 p.m. Well, Dave, I think the only unfortunate thing that everybody is talking about was the act of vote buying or inducement from the main political parties, that's NDC and the MPP. Well, to the extent that voters at Wono had to reject the 10 Ghana cedis inducement from agents of these candidates. And that was very, very worrying. And some other voters receiving knapsack spray machines on the streets. Clearly, you could see them rushing to the cars of these candidates, branded cars of these candidates. And that was that thing that made headlines yesterday. In fact, everybody was really talking about that. We witnessed that. It was quite unfortunate because not long ago, the NDC held its primaries. We saw the same thing at Ejura Secho Dumase. We spoke about it. So it was quite surprising to see this same NDC NPP engaging in the act of inducement at Kumewu yesterday. So yesterday was not really nice having that view myself as a reporter. Then on the other hand, some voters had to even present their voters' ID card. At my own polling center, Secretary, you present your voters' ID card before and after voting for 20 Ghana cedis. So if you want to vote and you haven't done so, you go to the back of the school, you present your voters' ID card. There's an agent of a particular candidate there. You take details on your ID card, and then you'd go and vote. When you come back, you present the same voter's ID card, and then you show your ink, the ink on your hand, and then you are given 20 Ghana cedis. So all these went on in almost all the polling centers we visited yesterday. All of them. Oyoko, Bodomase, Kwankura, Bunu, everywhere. And then the issue that also came up was the pre-signing of pink sheet at the Oyoko polling station, which led to some misunderstanding. The constitutional instrument CI 127 for the conduct of election does not permit that, and it is against the pre-signing of pink sheets before voting would commence. Ordinarily, that is done after voting, but this time around at the Oyoko polling station, the voters had to sign, the polling agents rather, had to sign the pink sheets before the voting even commenced. So even before 7 a.m., that means the agents of these candidates had to sign the pink sheet, and that was so unfortunate.
Again, Nana, indulge me here, Nana Boakye Adom. For those of you who are listening to us and you're following what Nana Boakye Adom is saying, we've got the video on Facebook right now. Katie, if you can do us the honors, I sent the video to you a while ago. Show us that video on Facebook right now where, the guy, the officer, the EC official who asked that, what I heard earlier was forcing, polling agents to sign the pink sheet before the election took place. I want you to go on to Facebook right now and listen to the reason the EC official gave. Listen to him. As you watch the video, follow the sounds and listen to what the man, the reason he gave, the explanation he gave for asking people to, sign the pink sheet even before the election began. So that's on Facebook right now. LUV 99.5 FM. You get to hear his reason for doing what he did. Nana Boakye, please go ahead.
So, yes, Steve, that was it. The man was actually giving some reason that nobody understood. In fact, we got there very late. But at that point that we got there, the NDC and the NPP, they were near blows because nobody understood this. The NPP actually agreed. The agents of the NPP had no issue, but the agent of the NDC was concerned. I don't know why that of the NPP was not so much concerned, but we realized that it was very, very wrong. So the regional boss, Bano Bio, had to rush to Oyoko police station to ensure that everything was calm. But for an hour or close to 30 minutes, maybe more than 30 minutes, let me even just say an hour, the process was being halted. So voting didn't take place for close to an hour. It took the intervention of the EC boss, the regional EC boss, Bano Bio, for everything to calm down. The police had to even call for reinforcement. So this act of reinforcement even happened at the Wono polling station 1, where Chief Azuka and his men stormed the polling station just because they had seen an NPP agent trying to induce a voter. So, in fact, as I started earlier, the police really did so well. At every point in time, they would call for reinforcement. Now,
Hold on, Nana Boakye. Don't forget that thought flow. You get back to it for me. I just want to ask a few questions. Let me ask a question about the EC official who asked, the polling agents to sign the pink sheet before the election began. What happened to him? Was he asked to leave the premises, or he stayed behind and he still supervised the elections? What happened?
Oh, he was not asked to leave. He was still the polling officer from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
What he did was an illegality. So how come he was allowed to see through the process? It was an illegality. It was wrong.
In fact, everybody was expecting him to leave the place. The NDC's former Deputy General Secretary, Peter Otukono, was there, and he was forcing the other colleagues, the other EC officials, to sack him but I do not know why they refused to do so. So he conducted the elections throughout up until 5 p.m.
And like I said, for those of you who have missed it or haven't heard what the reason he gave, Nana Boakye hasn't shared that with us. We would like for you to hear it for yourself. So join us on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM. Watch the video and listen for yourself the reasons he gave for asking polling agents to sign the pink sheets way before even the election began. Nana, let's talk about the inducements. Now, you're saying along the line that some eligible voters turned down 10 Ghana cedis that was given them. Did they turn it down because the amount was too small, or they turned it down because it was wrong to be induced to vote for a particular candidate? What was the reason?
So when we got to Ono, those who rejected the inducement were saying that that was not the amount they initially agreed on. They agreed on something bigger, and the agents are telling them that they are giving them the 10 cedis for them to go and vote. When they get back, they'll be giving the other 90 Ghana cedis. So the agreement was 100 Ghana cedis. But why are you giving them 10 cedis for them to go and vote, and then after voting you give them 90 cedis? That is why they rejected the money. But others were also saying that the act of inducement was wrong, so they would not engage in that. So it was quite ambivalent over there. Everybody was sharing a different experience or different point of view with us on why they rejected that money.
Now, Nana, I have another video, and Kate, let this one roll for a while. I want people to listen to the EC official and the reason he gave for asking people to sign the pink sheets even before the election began. But there's another video where, in that video, an EC official, a lady, was being escorted from a center because what I heard is that she was asked by an old lady to help her vote, and the old lady wanted to vote for the umbrella, only for the EC official who was present to make the woman vote for the elephant. Can you run us through what really happened? Because she was escorted from the voting center. The EC official was escorted. So I'm wondering why the man who asked them to sign the pink sheets was made to stay until 5 and beyond, and this one was sacked.
Well, I think that issue, it was the voter who raised that issue. In fact, the old lady came out to say she wanted to vote for the umbrella, but then the lady who escorted her to the ballot, to where she was going to vote, actually placed their hand on the elephant. But it became quite noisy, so the lady could not stay. The polling agent or the polling officer could not stay, and the police had to drive her away because they wanted to even touch her a little. So the police had to intervene. But for that one, they did not really go deep. She didn't even speak. The polling officer did not speak. They did not allow her to speak. But the old lady was there. She was the one saying, this woman has stopped me from voting for the umbrella, and she has allowed me to vote for the elephant. But we didn't hear the other side of the story. That is the polling officer's side of the story, the lady.
She was made to leave the voting center. So, Nana, take another minute. Any other thing you want to share with us before we say thank you?
All right, so Dave, I'll just run you through it. The issue of MMDCs and MPs being deployed as polling agents for the MPP. That was also some concerns the voters were raising.
As well as observers. They were also there as observers, apart from being polling agents, observers.
Yes, some of them were there as observers. But some MMDCs and some MPs, including deputy ministers, were there as polling agents. So the voters were raising concerns. They are saying their presence there was quite intimidating.
All right, Nana Boakye Yadom, great job there. Thank you very much for your time with us this morning here on Love 99.5. We're grateful to you. See you soon in the office. And so that was Nana Boakye Yadom. And one more time to the team that was on the ground, at Kumewu. I can quickly recall Mohemi Nteria, Nana Yao, and all the other guys, as well as the drivers who took them to and fro. We say great job done, and good morning to you. All right, so with me in the studios of Love 99.5 to continue the conversation is Eugene Osei Tutu. And I know that you're doing the listening out there. From all that transpired yesterday at Kumewu, what is a take home for you? What lessons do you think you have picked up from what happened yesterday? Especially as there's another by-election for Asin North, where Jaji Kwesi, we're told, might also contest again on the ticket of the NDC. Did it go even as expected for you? Our WhatsApp number is 05511119995. That's our WhatsApp number. Record a voice message or voice note and send it in to us. Let's play it for the rest of the world to listen to it. As you're very much aware, we're also live on Facebook on LUV 99.5. And one of the videos we'll be showing to you shortly has to do with the chairman for the NDC, General Mosquito, who was at Kumeu himself, directing EC officials as to where they can sit, where polling agents can sit, and all that. Very interesting, scenes that we'll be showing you on Facebook on LUV 99.5. So stay with us on Facebook. Eugene, so you and I had a conversation about this upcoming elections. I think it was on Monday. And we said a lot of things. Generally, you followed the elections yesterday. Your own general view of it?
Well, David, no surprises. I remember, I think was it on Monday?
Yes, it was on Monday.
Yes, I told you that even if Mahama contests, the city will lose. It was clear like the day, and you need not a Jewish prophet to tell you that the MPP was going to win. The guy, and let's see, our name won of 71%. I remember you asked me about the percent, and I said between 55 to 65%. So he did well.
He won by 70.91%.
70.91. So let's say 71. And I think that yes, he did well. Really, no surprises.
But if you look at the turnout, because if you listen to the narrative as our reporters was filling us in during the day, yeah, it's a farming community, so the argument was that people might have gone to the farms and then come back later in the afternoon to vote. We also hear that when it comes to by-elections, people don't turn out in numbers to vote like, in general elections and all that. What would you make of the turnout? Because we know that on the voters register there's supposed to be about some 34,000 voters. What do you make of turnout for the elections yesterday?
No, it should have been more, because in 2020, even the voters register was 34,000.
Yeah.
Clearly, in the last 2 years or 3 years, people in Kumeu 18 have registered their names and all that.
Some people might have died as well.
I think, yes. but I think that I don't have the voter turnout for yesterday, but in the 2020 election, the voter turnout for Kumeu was over 82%. And maybe the reason why people do not turn out for by-election is simple. For example, until recently, I used to vote in the New Durban South constituency in Koforidua. MP won't mean for can Koforidua and Kotoaba. I won't do that. So most of the people who are working in Kumasi, they're not really for a normal day, will not do that. But when it's general election, it's a holiday. You see, that day is normally we make it. It's not really a holiday. Yeah, a holiday problem. But like
activities come to a halt.
Yes, activities come to us, and some workers actually, some establishment actually say it's a holiday because of the security components of
like schools are closed and stuff like that. Yeah.
And David, for me, I do not think it's anything. It's not new. When you go through the history of by-elections, the 31, because yesterday we had the 31st one. When you go to the history, you see semblances of that. Normally, there's a low voter turnout when it comes to by-elections compared to the general elections because of all these dynamics that I indicate. And also, the general election comes with its own, trails and excitement compared to by-elections. And you can understand also someone has died, so people are grieving, and there's also people who want to politically capitalize on that grief to maximize vote. So there's a lot of dynamics that come to bear.
But again, this is the stronghold of the MPP. And we know, for example, when we talked about Kumeu on Monday, we talked about the fact that there was a first by-election somewhere in 2002 where Rio Baswa himself passed, and then another by-election took place there and all that. This is a stronghold of the MPP. Yet we realized, or we saw heavy security presence, including the presence of the IGP. But they didn't have much to do yesterday, did they?
Yes, David, they were guided by history. The last by-election we had before this one was Ayawaso West Wogon.
Yeah.
Where the event that happened culminated. Sorry, that's the word.
Culminated in a lot of
into a commission of inquiry, and you all saw the resources you have to channel into that. Live telecast of that. I think it was the Moshot committee. Then we had a Justice of the Supreme Court, Professor Henry Tamensa Bonsu, and a former IGP.
And Kofi Abuchi was there as a secretary for the committee.
The now dean for the UPS Law School and all that. So resources, they were paid per diem, they were. So I think that the IGP was guided by history. What his predecessors failed to do, he wanted to avert it. But I think this one was really not a test case for them. I do not think that the NDC genuinely. And you see, the political parties say we will turn it and all that because as vibes initially allowed. They need to energize the base of the party. They need to
hold on for me. If you join us on Facebook right now, just gone by was the lady that was escorted from one of the polling centers, in Kumeu. That was after she is alleged to have helped a woman to vote. An old lady wanted to vote for the NDC. She called on the EC official to help her do so. Apparently, according to the old lady, this EC official made her vote for the MPP. If you watch us on Facebook, so that's the scenes. It's on Facebook. This is when she was leaving the voting center. Yes, so go on.
Yes, David. So that is basically. I was not surprised. I was not surprised
at all. Okay.
I was not surprised, but I think that as I said, the NDC just wanted to energize the base, sound confident going into the election. But honestly, when you ask them, they knew that they would lose the
most definitely. And then the issue about the presence of heavyweights of both political parties. I mean, for the MPP, for example, they deployed all 43 MMDCs to be present, at Kumewu yesterday. Some were there as polling agents, some of them were there as observers. Again, NDC also made sure that all the MPs plus some other bigwigs of the party were there. What do you make of that?
Well, David, MPP has won the last 2 elections because of vigilance, and sometimes this is one of the things why people sit back and say that the NDC seem not prepared for. Yesterday, I saw some of the pictures of the coalition center, and we saw that of the MPP. I'm not here to make comparisons. I do not speak for any of the parties. But as an observer, you can clearly see one party always being up with data. Yesterday, as at 7:15, before the EC came, the MPP projected that their candidate had won by 71%. When the final EC declaration was done, he said 70.91%. I remember on the 9th or the 10th of December 2016, Nana Kumia, then the communication director of the party, held a press conference together with Chairman McMahon and predicted the MPP had won the 2016 elections by 54 or so percent. The EC later said they won 53 point something. The difference was infinitesimal. In 2020, they called the election for themselves with a figure, which is done. In the US, in the UK, elections are called. Multimedia calls elections. The percentage, by the final, you don't declare. The declaration is the preserve of the EC by the dictate of our constitution. And again, the difference was infinitesimal. The NDC were told by the national chairman, and it's public knowledge, that they didn't have results for 2020 and 2016.
Then the general secretary.
He didn't have, and that was why he was contesting the then director of elections, of Uswampofu, who had become the national chairman, because he wanted to change. Well, Kumewu and Asenov, if there's a by-election in Asenov, or there will be a by-election.
There will be a by-election, yeah.
It's a test case for them to prove to people who think that they have not built that infrastructure over the time. And David,
if you listen to John Boydu, for example, yesterday, the former general secretary of the NPP, if you listen to him yesterday, he says, Sally, they have been able to build this over the years. And he says that there's going to be a time where they can even tell the number of people who, so it tells you that they understand the elections. He even threw a challenge to the NDC, who was also represented by Abbas Nuruddin and a few other people, that, listen, the NDC should also learn from the MPP, because the MPP has invested a lot into putting data together when it comes to elections and all that. That was John Boydu for yesterday.
So I reported on elections in 2020 for a sister station out there on multimedia. And what happens was that in Jabin constituency, 2020.
Be with us, flow with us.
In the Jabin constituency, what happened was that when the polling results are collated, the MPP takes a picture and sends it to a certain WhatsApp platform. The system picks it up and collates the results. So while the EC is collecting in Accra, the MPP doesn't collate with regional. You see, so this is how election works. The EC will take the polling station results and aggregate it. Then they become a constituency results. The constituency results will be aggregated to become a regional result. Then they transmit the regional results to the EC. That is why when you sit in your homes and blame that JMNSA has stolen elections, you don't understand the election management system in Ghana. So the regional election is sent there. When it's sent there, the NDC rep there must have, or the MPP rep there, the political party rep must have all the constituencies and make sure they aggregate so that it tallies with the regional. So in Ashanti region, there will be 47 results, aggregate into one result, which is Ashanti, and sent to the national. So Jane Mensa will only see 16 out of the million or the thousands of polling stations. But the MPP coalition system, the one I'm privy to because I've seen it work practically, is that they collate with the polling stations. So if it's about 30,000 polling stations, all the polling officers, you take the screenshot immediately, the results is given, a signed up, signatures appended to national, and the system collects it. So that is why always they seem to have a certain lead when it comes to some of these.
And that's why Frijan will tell you that you ought to be observant and vigilant on the voting ground, the center.
Elections are one on the polling.
Exactly. That's why Frijan will tell you that. But if you listen to Nana Boakye-Adom Eugene, I mean, he made mention of the fact that although we are saying that, well, all these big guns were there, Okujuta Blakwa, and all the guys were there. He says the electors felt intimidated. Should they feel intimidated by the presence of these people representing their various parties? And is this something we should look forward to in 2024? Because after the 2020 elections, where we had Asiedu Nketia say what he said, he has gone on to say that this time around, going into any other election, the NDC will be more vigilant with people who are knowledgeable, have knowledge about elections. So intimidation, as mentioned by Nana Boakye-Adom, by electors there, and then is this to suggest that this is what is going to come in other elections, especially in 2024?
David, I do not see how the presence of a DC should intimidate you to vote or anything. The DC is not carrying arms, they are not carrying ammunition, they're not dressed as national security operatives. I don't see. And the NDC themselves, John Mahama is on record to have said that they need more lawyers, they need dedicated people to man the affairs of the NDC when it comes to polling the election. David, you see, when Akufo-Addo came to power, he said the reason why he was appointing lawyers is that by the dictate of the training, they have a vast knowledge on a lot of things. So they're able to manage things properly. They were 6 years down the line, we can do the analysis and see whether they've done that. But just to say that when you have people who at least have the basics of literacy, they can read and write, they can understand things, and it helps because you see a lot of things happen. For example, in Jabin 2020, I saw people going to eat as a polling officer. It shouldn't happen.
They leave the center and go and eat.
Yes, it shouldn't happen. Why? You see, and these are little things. What do you mean show young come kaka? And then you see elections are our life and death. The CDD says that to win a presidential election, you need to commit about $100 million. Let's even say, the city is 10. David, you see, these are millions of cedis and dollars that goes into it. So you need people who are fortified, people who are resolute, people who are knowledgeable.
Yeah, because Barnum Bill, the original boss, the original director for the EC, says he wants people who, the party's representatives or the party's leadership should make sure that they bring people who can tell the difference between 9 and 6.
Yes.
People who understand these things. So if you don't bring somebody who understands these things and something untoward happens, you don't come and blame the EC.
Yesterday, for example, Roxanne Dafia-Mako was making an argument. People were insulted. And see, I always say that, you see, when you are supporting NDC or NPP, when people raise issues, before you think of insult, analyze the issue. He was raising an issue, and I think you've seen the tweet to the point that the NDC, per the structure, have what you call branch executives. At every polling station, they are supposed to have these branch executives. There are 9. So if a results come from a polling station and then DC got 3, 4, clearly, that is a matter of concern and people are insulting him or Pekasadodo and all that. But the point is, Rick and David, isn't it legitimate?
It is legitimate. And if you join us on Facebook right now, indulge me. If you join us on Facebook right now, which of course I plead with you to join us, you will see the chairman of the NDC, the general himself, Asiedu Nketia, directing where polling agents should sit, or even where the EC should mount their tables, because they're talking about visibility. If you are in some obscure corner somewhere where people cannot see your activities or see what you're doing, and then after the elections you come and declare or announce some whatever, and people raise concern, it's going to be an indictment on you, the polling agent, or maybe the electoral officer there. So if you join us on Facebook, you will hear him audibly speaking, giving instructions. You come and sit here, you come and sit there. But I'm thinking that sometimes common sense should even tell you, the EC official, where to mount, where your desk should be, so that at least everybody will see what is happening. So if something untoward is happening, somebody can see from wherever he or she is sitting. So join us on Facebook and see it for yourself. I mean, Asiedu Nketia doing his own thing there.
David, when it comes to elections, in the NDC, I'll go for Johnson Asiedu Nketia, and the NPP, I'll go for Chairman Mark Menu. They've proven that these are great resources. That is why I always say that it's about the proactiveness of the EC.
Asiedu Nketia.
You see, a party chairman on ground doing some of these things.
Look at him.
It shouldn't be happening.
It should not.
You see, and yesterday when I made that point, some callers came and was trying to
forgive me for laughing, but we heard the oil now. You know there's somebody else's stronghold. Yes. But still, they are breathing thing. They look at him.
No, David. That's why. You see, David, you are looking at it that there's some MPP stronghold. You see, the point is that.
But I said, look at it. I mean, go on. You go on.
I'm about to Tom one Macra Chenko for they bought guys and Macra knapsack sprayers and all that.
Look at Oh, come on.
David.
Listen, join us on Facebook and see it for yourself. I mean, this is a chairman for a big party.
Yeah.
The biggest opposition party, NDC. And this is what the chairman is doing at the by-election. And I make a
could have slapped the guy.
No.
But David, you see, that's the point I'm making, that going into 2024, for me, I've said that the most keenly contested election I've seen, I don't know for others, is 2008. 2024 is a test case for our democracy. And that is why I keep hammering that the EC, the little things that will bring a certain perception about them, they should try as much as possible to avoid it. I do not know what happened exactly at that place.
What?
But David, we need to even sometimes look at where elections are done. For example,
elections.
About the school, the
shades.
Yeah.
Oh, but if somebody wants to do something untoward, picks up something and says it's running away with it. Look at the environment.
And you see, after I said
there's a ditch behind them.
Exactly.
And you see, after Ekesedin Ketia gave them the directives, because he's been around for, you see, they started moving because they knew that what they've done was bad.
They saw sense in what he was communicating.
Exactly.
It could also be that he's a big man, and he's a chairman. It could be. I'm saying it could be.
David, the presiding officer for that area, does not operate on the whims and sayings of the NDC MPP chairman. The point I'm making is that if the EC does a proper when multimedia want to do anything at Rattree Park, what do? We do what we call recce.
Yeah.
If they've done a recce of the place, they know this should be here, this should be here. Then you go with all the agents of the party.
I was going to ask, don't they have like codes that they work with? Know that these are the standards. When we go here, make sure that
they have it all.
Oh, they'll have it by see the terrains. For example, if you want to come to multimedia and vote, we've tied our place decent and all that. That's different from going to Sakrauno to go into elections. There are two different things. So I'm saying that there should be a recce a day prior, 2 days prior. Then each of the polling stations, just to dissuade people of their own delusion. Because let's not forget, the EC may also do everything possible, but there will be people who are just sore losers. They will create all sorts of things. So I'm saying that do that thing, then let the cameras capture.
Simple. But again, so imagine that this was a general election. I'm happy that Kate is playing it back. Imagine that this is a general election, and if you listen to the comments of Sidney Ketia, it will help you appreciate what I'm talking about. If this was a general elections, with all the seriousness, with all the emotions attached with it, and he says, "Well, move from where you are and set up here," and somebody else comes and says, "Well, stay where you are," do you know what's going to happen? The earlier one, and Kate, if you don't mind, after a while, bring me back that video where the EC official was asking people to sign pink sheets before even the election began. There was the NDC guy who was holding the pink sheet. The MPP guy wanted to hold the pink sheet. And then the NDC guy don't hold it. But he says, but you're holding it. That pink sheet is a precept of the electoral officer. So how come political party reps are holding it? And the one says don't touch it. And the one says, why are you holding it? So this is just a by-election. That's what I'm asking. What lessons can we learn going forward? There's another by-election, for Asin North. There's a general election in 2024. If I'm holding a pink sheet and Eugene says he also wants to hold it, I said don't hold it, and the two of us have a scuffle, what are we communicating? What's going to happen? So these are small lessons that I think we should be able to learn going into 2024. But enough of these things. Eugene, let's talk about the big one for me: the vote buying, the inducements, the knapsack spray machines, the money. And I'm happy that at least many people were not willing to sell their vote for 10 Ghana cedis. According to them, if you listen to the Nabuachi, he says the agreement was 100 cedis.
No, David.
And then they said do 10 cedis.
So it's not about their willingness or unwillingness. It was a breach of contract.
Oh yes,
they promised 100. So they were taking the money.
But they are saying that
it's not like they were not selling it. They did sell it.
They did sell it. But it was a breach of contract.
But the point again is, so go for the come back for 90 cedis. I mean, what is the sense in this?
No, you see, David.
Why are we doing this for elections?
They felt that. Let me break it down for you. Maybe you see, what happens is that they felt that we've agreed that one vote 100 Ghana.
Yeah.
And Napo even said it publicly that the T-shirt back home. Okay. So the guy also brokering the deal will also be like, if I give you the 100, what is the assurance that you vote? So what they do is that they'll give you the 10 cedis. If you have a smartphone, when you vote, you take a picture.
Which of us is wrong?
Which of us? Yes. Even parliamentarians are doing it in parliament.
Oh yeah, I mean it's wrong.
And I always say that what happens at the national level, the people pick it. It's like when you're parents, you're insulting your wife, you're insulting your husband, your kids. Kids see. and they'll act on it. So they say that when you bring the picture of evidence that you vote or your hand with the indelible ink, the mark of it, then the balance of 90 will apply. So indeed, there was an agreement of a sale.
You know when the NDC Congress was held, and then they were promised of 40 cities, and then they had to come and queue for the 40 cities. And you saw the people who had the money in their possession, they knew that so they were trying to play Ojoro and things. Yeah. But they said, go and vote. Come and show us who you voted for. Did you vote for JM or whoever? These things is not helping our cause. On Facebook right now, there's this tailor. On Facebook right now, there's this tailor who people took money from before they had to go and vote. Isn't this taking our democracy backwards?
David, I will not sound sanctimonious and do the normal. See, David, on pork barrel, I don't know, for 4 years now, I've always maintained my arguments, and I said it on Monday. We can never take it out of our politics. David, see, this morning, all the V8 will leave Kumewu. I'm giving you a practical example. We can send an Abuache back to Kumewu. All the V8 will leave. We are just hoping and praying the excavators will remain and the road will be done.
That's my prayer as well.
Now, David, as the V8 are living, some of the people in Oyoko, Besianse, and all these towns, it will be 2024 December, November. Ekufuado beba obi ono. Beche. Sebamia beba wa. And I'm breaking it down in three so that they understand. That's the reality. Ibamia will come as after the Congress, the Super Congress in August, and I have said publicly, Bamia will win that Congress. So David,
is it in August or in November?
They will do the Super because they are more than 5, so they will do that one in August. Then subsequently they will do the
November,
the November one. Now David, so in 4 years, it's the gold mine, especially when you're a delegate. They feel that by-election will be a 2B, but when it's a delegate, and I'm looking at it generally, the two sides of it, whether ordinary voters or delegates. The 4 years, if I have to accrue anything, remember Domeko Abenya, I just have to do an insurance package for people getting parcels of land and all that. David, one vote and I get an insurance. I will not sound sanctimonious because what you see, let's ask ourselves, what will the ordinary person in Kumewu get after they voted?
And if you listen to Chamawun to me, if you listen to Sampine, if you listen to John Buedu again yesterday, their concern is it's not about influencing the person's vote. If somebody says, well, I have moved out of Kumewu, let's say I'm in Tamale or in Sonyane, I want to come and vote, but I don't have cash. And you say, okay, fine, you're going to give out. What's the big deal? They also go on to say, for example, that even on a normal day, if Sampine should come here right now, you know how the station is like. Sampine comes here right now. By the time we are done with the conversation, the NPP supporters and whoever will be at the frontage, you know, kind of a thing, which of course David, they have to give.
David, do you know why I wanted to stop? You see, sometimes the politicians, in their quest to rationalize some of this, they worsen the situation. David, which rational being who moved from Tamale to Kumewu to vote during by-elections? Oh, be a mess, David.
Some majority will not.
David,
some will.
David, on a normal day.
Some will.
On a normal day. Do MPs buy NAFSA sprays like No. So you are doing it for that election. So that's what I'm saying. So the people also see the opulence. The political parties as
so this is a cocoa season.
This is a cocoa season, David. Out of a blue, my MP dies on the 27th of March.
Yeah.
By-election comes. MPP go and vote on the 23rd of April. A candidate is elected. All of a sudden, all excavators in Ashanti region are at Kumewu. Avalanche of projects and all that. As me as an individual, what will I get? So for me, let's tackle these issues from a realistic point of view. I, John 82, will not need Dr. Mafu to give me anything, go and vote for him or anything. When I was voting at Subin, I didn't vote for Eugene Wachempi because I hadn't seen anything that he's done. And if he's here, I will tell him. I do not need that. But you see, that ordinary girl or young man in Kumewu do not have a job. And what it's in the delegate.
You know what some of them said yesterday? Some of them was like when somebody dies in a home or a newborn, comes to a home. And let's talk about security and safety in our homes and other places. Listen, If you're thinking about how to get the right security doors for your home, I can recommend for you to go to Weedy Locks. They have Israeli security doors, and these are internal and external doors. Their doors are elegant, affordable, and durable. It has Gladiator locking systems. It has a 13 bolts, lock all round into the galvanized steel frame. Their doors do not make noise when opened or closed. Now, it's specifically coated with powder paint to avoid peeling of paint. It weighs over 60 kg for a single door. It comes in single, large, 1.5, and double doors. You can also order for special height doors. Their doors are made of galvanized steel, so it is rust-free. At Weedy Locks, keys are coded with 5 keys per door, which cannot be duplicated. Now, if you want peace of mind, security at home, offices, banks, and warehouses, come straight to Weedy Locks and visit our showroom at Kwahoma off the Durban Sokoban Road. You can call us or send us a WhatsApp message to 050-8777-755 or 0575-777-755. There's a very special package for people who are into real estate or people who are building contractors or even architects. Get in touch with Weedy Locks now. Yesterday, you wonder how our guys did it, huh? Well, they had to use Lucozade. Listen, day in and out, we hustle and we grind to turn all our dreams into reality. So yesterday there was a by-election at Komewu, and it was hectic for our guys. But they were able to surmount the pressure, and all that transpired yesterday because they fell on Lucozade. Lucozade with glucose will restore your energy during your everyday routine. So wake up your vim with Lucozade every day and restore your energy. This advert is FDA approved. Do you have a DSTV at home? You don't? Why not? Listen, fun time for the kids means fun time with DSTV. DSTV is a home of the best kids entertainment with something exciting for children of all ages. And you know what? The best part is they get to learn while having fun. So give them premium enjoyment with shows such as Coco Melon on Moonbug on DSTV channel 318. Paw Patrol on Nicktoons channel 308. Teen Titans, you have to go to Cartoon Network channel 301. PL Masks, Heroes on Disney channel 309, and so much more. Reconnect or stay connected by dialing *759# to make your kids not to miss out on all the laughs and all the education. DSTV, it's your moment. Now, Airtel Tigo wishes to announce to its cherished customers that all unregistered SIMs will be permanently disconnected effective 31st of May 2023 in line with NCA's directive. Customers who are yet to complete their SIM registration are entreated to visit the nearest Airtel Tigo shop immediately with their Ghana card to avoid permanently losing their numbers. What's more, you get up to 5 gigabytes free data instantly after your registration is completed. So get registered now. Airtel Tigo, life is simple. So let's talk about the elections itself. We all knew that the NPP candidate would win. But we also thought that based on his earlier performance, getting some 11,000 or so, Kwaku Duah would give the NPP a run for their money. What worked for the NPP? What didn't work for Kwaku Duah?
I think David, I answered that question on Monday. I told you that I felt that, and then Kwaku Duah himself said it that, and the chairman Sabonsu did confirm that they met him.
Yeah.
And they wanted him to be the candidate. But there were still some issues and he declined. I think that he should have gone there. There was this guy in Koko Shaba, that's the name. Shaba did the same thing. Joe Wise even entered parliament by quite through that same time, I think 2008 and all that. I don't know the issue, maybe deep-seated, but clearly I knew that his hold on the constituency will reduce because there's been a lot of consultation. And the lady who came, and the last time I gave you the number, NS won the primaries of 191, the lady won of 185, the difference of 14. When we called the lady on in Sheriffem the next morning, the maturity of which she spoke, that was when I knew that, wow, work has been done. Just the next day, she was like, yes, I lost by just 14 or so. So the difference was infinitesimal. So the NS guy didn't even get 50% approval within the MPP. But the lady was like, Yenu Bearman, and in chief, that's why I say, Yenu Bearman, you see, you know. Yena Yakotanechi. Basua Namfu or Matamfuna, Yanu Biabe Kasa. And the lady, as at that morning, was leaving her house to go to NS house with her team.
To go congratulate him.
To go and congratulate him.
But let me ask you a question. Is it to suggest that his political career, Kwaku Duah, his political career is in jeopardy now?
Oh, David Clare, it's gone. It's gone. But I see there are some people, they will stand by.
Oh, the other one didn't even have, he didn't even have polling agents. He didn't have anything. I mean, forget about that, that young man.
David, you see, there are some people, whatever you do, they will stand by their principles. And I think that he's shown that, yes, if I have issues, I have issues. I will deal with you with all issues. And for that, they come. But I think that the MPP has done well. And David, the margin that we saw is also a testament. And you asked the question about 2024.
Yeah. And
3 things for me, lessons for the MPP or NDC. That is me, my observation. 1, reconciliation. Dr. Obeda somewhere in his book, I've forgotten the title, says that the best form of democracy is consensus building. David, you are far advanced in me in age. You can even give birth to me. But when it comes to certain decisions of this morning show, sometimes you call me, as at yesterday, we even fought. Then we decide, oh, Eugene, you are doing this. You call you and myself, we do that. That is consultation. So when you come in the morning, we are aligned. And when you are angry at us, no, I'm building the point.
I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from.
And you see, when there are even disagreements, as men, as team people, we sit down, we iron it out, and we move on. Dr. Obeda Samwa and me, these people, I like them because they are men who did it when it was not fashionable to do so. This politics. And he said that the best form of democracy is consensus building. You build consensus, you iron out differences. Yes, people may not come, but at least the greater majority understands the game. They bring out their grievances. You hear them. And see, sometimes, David, even in our normal relationships, when you be trimping, sometimes not that the person is angry at you. The person just want to let you know that I'm angry at you about certain thing. And when you even listen to the person itself and he just says sorry, they don't need money or anything. They are okay. So 1, build consensus when there are genuine issues. And we've seen from the NDC, Felix Kwachi saying that national chairman came to my constituency, this person accusing this person. Build that consensus. Otherwise, the various reports saying you win the election, these are on paper. Practically, you will lose the election. 2, David, the second one is about the party that is able to collate results.
The right data.
And
put it together.
That accurately who win the election. Because David, and when you have to do some last minute operations,
you do it.
Yeah. 3, about resourcefulness. The party that is able to resource people. And David, you may kid yourself, Ghanaians, whatever. But I can tell you that when you're not resourceful, you cannot do a lot of things.
0322083596 is one of our numbers or our lines. The other is 0322083597 and 0322083598. Listeners, join us now. The Kumewu by-elections has ended, and we know the MPP candidate won. And this year, name has won. He's going to represent the people of Kumewu in Parliament. Question is, did it go as expected for you? Another question is, what lessons do you think we need to draw from what happened yesterday going into other elections? There's a by-elections coming up, as in North, and then there's a 2024 elections as well coming up. So call us now. Anything at all you want to share with us, let's hear from you. You can also send us voice messages to 055-11-11995. That's our WhatsApp number. Well, MTN wishes to inform its valued customers who haven't registered their SIM cards, with the Ghana card to do so, as directed by the regulator, that is the National Communications Authority. All unregistered phone numbers will be disconnected permanently by the 31st of May. So you have up until Tuesday, Wednesday, thereabout, Complete your registration with your Ghana card, GPS address, and your unique code at any MTN service center or any of the MTN agents across the country. Please register your SIM cards to avoid disconnection permanently and stay connected everywhere you go. Ken, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David.
So let's hear you, sir.
David, are we going to say that yesterday's election was free and fair? Election that someone will be picked for you, vote for this person. Election that somebody will give you money, that come and vote for me. Is that not corruption? In fact, Ghana, when we are heading to, and I keep asking myself, even those fine, illiteracy is not ignorant. Those who were giving that kind of money, 50 cedis and then 100 cedis and then 1 cup of rice to go and vote, where is your honor? What are you not even saying that they are even insulting you? 100 cedis. David, God save Ghana. There's more. I don't know.
Well, Ken, thanks for joining us. Let's speak to Nana Kweku. NK, good morning.
Hey, you're calling me NK. Thanks for the nickname. Well, I'll be just as Eugene said. In fact, his submissions today, I'm with him. But there's one thing that I have beg to differ. Never ever trust a politician. I say they are politricksters. Voting since 1992 to date, I would say never trust a politician. You said could you have election or whatever it is, a political career might be at the end. It will not be at the end because politicians at a point in time where he might be, he might be popular at a particular time, will even go and stand for MPP. Never trust a politician. It has happened in our country way back in 1996, whereby there was one guy in fact, Francis Essam, she was with NDC and now she's now with MPP. So never ever trust a politician. And then there's one thing with what Esunikatia was doing. Sometimes the pulling of, just as you were saying, David was saying, the sheets, some of them might be a scaffold, and then I will say the EC person about some sort of laissez-faire attitude. Because if you're going to be that strict, it might lead to confrontations. This one wants to do, this one wants to pull, this one wants to be so. Oh, well, we are all men, we are all here, all men and from parties, or ladies from parties. Let's all collaborate and end the situation. So being strict at a particular time, jeopardize the whole election. And one last thing, you see, someone called. We Ghanaians, we are our own enemies. The money that they dished out to you. So if you are crying for corruption, crying, jumping left, right, center for corruption, we are our own enemies. They've taken the money, they've given it to you, they will steal from you.
Well, thank you very much, Nana Kweku. 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. You can also call us. We're talking about the Kumayu elections. It ended yesterday in favor of the NPP. What lessons do you think we can draw from all that happened, from the EC's role of the day, security, everything that transpired? Kofi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave. I know you will not be happy with me this morning, but the truth is one. Look, Dave, the town's name is Kumawu and not Kumewu. John Buadu and not Buedu. These are Asante names. Please, you people have to mention it correctly. Else, some time to come, people will mention it as you people do it. Now,
thanks for the correction,
forward,
Kofi.
Sorry?
Thanks for the correction.
All right. Moving forward, Dave, honestly, sometimes, Love FM, you put your listeners into suspense, which is not necessary. Look, you have been able to tell us why that woman or that lady was escorted from the polling station because she has led a certain old lady to vote against her wish. Now, talking about the EC officer who allowed the agents to sign the pink sheet before the election started, the reasons he assigned for these people to sign the pink sheet, you are telling us to go to the Facebook to listen to it ourselves. Once you know that we are not on Facebook, we are listening to you on radio. What is wrong? You are there. You listen to it. You see it. Can't you tell us? And you put your listeners into suspense? Oh. Anyway.
Kofi, thanks for joining us on the show. And for you, I'll create an exception. I'll tell you. Don't worry. He says it was an oversight. All right. He said it was an oversight. That's all he said. And Kofi, I understand where you're coming from. I appreciate it. Boating, good morning.
Fine morning.
Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah. I'm surprised the media is behaving as if buying votes is something which is coming into Ghana. Since the beginning of the 1992 constitution, votes have been bought at any time or all times that there has been elections. Some time ago, you people were telling us that they were even using timber power to influence people to vote for them. A whole lot of items. So vote buying is.
But what should it be something that we should encourage? Yes, it's been there for so long. Should we encourage it? Should it be allowed to go on?
excuse me, if we can't stop it, then it means that the poverty level or the poverty between the rural and the politicians or the urban areas should be closer. To give somebody 10 cedis at Wodo, it's more than giving him 500 cedis as against somebody in Accra or that or the money coming from a politician.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boateng. Mark, I see you on the monitor. Mark, hold the line for us. George, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Hi, George. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, David. David, so there is money, but they will not tie our roots until there is a by-election. So, David, only if there is money, but they will sit down till an MP dies for there to be and by-election before we see development. David, then may they be dying in the name of Jesus so that they will develop the country. David, so they are sitting down waiting for 2024. Then they will send excavators everywhere pretending they are developing. So after election, then they will withdraw. David, Ghanaians must come back to their senses, so because it's too much. Look at them. I mean, the money they spend there. A common by-election, the president has to be there, and a whole IGP have to be there for one constituency. What about the general election? Then we need 10, IGPs. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much, George, for joining us. Our final caller is in Mark. Mark, good morning.
Hello, Dave. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark, and thanks for your patience, Mark. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to all your ardent listeners. Kumawu's by-election yesterday, honestly, this is a win for the MPP. But listening to some of the comments from some of the voters, the people in Kumawu, it's pathetic, and it's a very big problem for us as a country in Ghana. You know, these tribal lines, who I belong to, is actually not going to end. The problem we have here now is what is the solution when it comes to the alternative, the NDC. It's a big issue. So when we go to the voter, typically for a by-election, we're going to experience the same thing like we saw in Kumawu. They'll quickly go and do some quick fix on some of the issues. They sort them out, and they are going to vote for them massively.
I hear you. Thank you very much, Mark.
At the end of the day, it is the general population that is going to suffer, because we've decided to vote on tribal lines. We've decided to vote on the Kumasi people like MPP, the whole people like NDC. Charlie, we have a long way to go.
Mark, thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. We have some voice notes. Leo Stanley, please, let's do justice to them, and then we'll cross over to Joy 99.7.
Good morning, Dave. This is Isaac. You see, sometimes it is sad that our people have not come to the realization, the nitty-gritties of politicians. You see how the whole government machinery was moved to Kumawu. And you see, it is obvious, I don't know, whether we have not come to that realization or we have intentionally decided not to care, that the politician is interested in power. And when they get the power, they steal our money, they pollute our waters, they do nothing significant to transform the nation. And you see, these people that took 10 cedis and 50 cedis and 20 cedis are the same people who will come and complain to us that there's lack of development in Kumawu. They should bow their heads in shame. And we Ghanaians, we are part of the problem. We don't choose leaders. We don't hold our leaders into high accountability. The result is IMF. Always we are going to IMF. It tells you how incompetent the leaders we have been selecting are.
I hear you, sir. Isaac, that was his name. Thanks for joining us. And we can play this one too.
Good morning, Mr. David. I hope you are doing well. My name is Noah. Ghana democracy is a shame, shambolic shame, because what has caused us into this economic catastrophe and we are struggling. Even to feed for a day is a problem, is because they have bought our conscience in 2020 elections, and they will continue to buy our conscience and to allow it to be bought by all means. And that is why we are